Welcome to the webinar for the Uber Directed Share Program presented by Morgan Stanley. At this time, I will take a brief pause to allow everyone to read over the following disclaimers. This webinar will provide an overview of the Uber Directed Share Program and walk you through the required steps for participation. Certain drivers and delivery partners have an opportunity to purchase Uber common stock through a directed share program at the initial public offering, or IPO. Morgan Stanley will administer this program for Uber. The Uber Directed Share Program is a plan designed to allow certain drivers and delivery partners the opportunity to purchase stock as part of the initial public offering. The Directed Share Program sets aside a quantity of stock for this purpose, which qualified parties may purchase at the IPO price. Each eligible participant will have the opportunity to purchase up to $10,000 worth of Uber common stock as part of the IPO. Purchasing shares in the IPO through the Directed Share Program may have financial and tax consequences. Therefore, you should consult a financial and tax advisor to understand what it means for your personal situation. Please note that Uber is not soliciting or recommending that you participate in the Directed Share Program. After reviewing the preliminary prospectus, which is available on the Morgan Stanley Directed Share Program website, and the information provided to you by Morgan Stanley, you may decide not to participate in the Directed Share Program. Some important terms to know as you go through the process. A share of common stock is a type of security that signifies an ownership interest in a corporation. An IPO, or initial public offering, is the first public issuance of stock for a company that has not been publicly traded immediately prior to the issuance. Expected key event dates and activities to keep in mind, which I will go through in more detail throughout the presentation. April 29th, the application period commenced. May 7th, the application period closes. May 9th, the Uber IPO is expected to price. May 10th, the confirmation period ends. May 14th, the payment due date for shares purchased through this program. This is the current schedule for the IPO, but please check the Morgan Stanley Directed Share Program website for any updates to the IPO timeline. Now for the actual Directed Share Program process. Morgan Stanley has sent all eligible drivers and delivery partners who have consented to share their information with Morgan Stanley an invitation email for the program. The sender is Morgan Stanley DSP Group, and the subject line is Next Steps for the Directed Share Program for Uber IPO. The email will provide more information about the Directed Share Program and also contains a personalized link to the Morgan Stanley DSP website. This link is the only way to access the program website. Once you enter the Directed Share Program website, you will need to establish a user ID and password. Please note, if you did not receive the Morgan Stanley email and believe you should have, please contact the Uber support team directly from the Uber Driver app. In order to maximize success for accessing the Morgan Stanley website, you should use a regularly updated and patched web browser, such as Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Apple Safari, or Microsoft Edge. Web browser plugins or add-ons are not recommended, as they are known to interfere with browser verification methods used by Morgan Stanley directed websites. If you are interested in participating in the Directed Share Program and purchasing shares in the Uber IPO, you will need to complete the following steps by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, May 7th. 1. Review the welcome letter. 2. View a copy of the Uber preliminary prospectus. The preliminary prospectus provides pertinent information about Uber's business and details about the IPO. 3. Indicate the number of shares you are interested in purchasing. An estimated cost of your potential investment based on the current filing range will be provided at this time. Your indication of interest will not involve any obligation or commitment of any kind and does not guarantee that you will receive any or all of the shares requested. 4. Certify your eligibility to participate in the program and buy IPO shares. 5. Provide the necessary information to Morgan Stanley in order to establish a limited purpose brokerage account in your name to deposit the shares. Outside brokerage accounts are not eligible for this program. 6. Complete and electronically sign a W-9 tax form. This document is required by the IRS, so Morgan Stanley does not withhold 28% from the sale of your shares if and when you choose to sell any of the shares you may purchase. 7. The last step you will need to complete by May 7th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time will be to review all of the necessary terms and conditions. Once you have completed that step, you will see a confirmation page that your application has been completed, and shortly thereafter receive another email stating that your account has been established. Please note that in some cases your account may require additional paperwork. The application complete email will also contain important information about how to establish Automated Clearinghouse or ACH payment instructions on your new account. This is necessary to facilitate the processing of your payment should you choose to complete the confirmation process and purchase shares on the night of pricing. I will discuss the payment process shortly. Your account will be opened within 1 business day of completing the application, and you will be sent an email with instructions about how to access your account on the Morgan Stanley online website or mobile application. Now, to the confirmation phase of the process. As previously mentioned, the Uber IPO is scheduled to price on Thursday, May 9th. All drivers and delivery partners who fully complete the application process, including the account opening and review and submit steps, will receive a pricing email once the IPO price has been set, sometime after 5 p.m. Eastern Time. This email will contain the official IPO price and provide instructions on how to confirm your order via the Directed Share Program website should you elect to do so. The confirmation deadline is 7 a.m. Eastern Time on May 10th, which is the morning after pricing. If your confirmation is not received by this deadline, your allocation will be canceled and you will not be allowed to purchase or receive any shares. You have 3 options during the confirmation process. 1. Confirm your full allocation. 2. Confirm a lesser amount with a minimum of 1 share. 3. Do nothing and decline participation. The last step in the DSP process is the payment for the shares. Full payment is due by 4 p.m. Eastern Time on the settlement date, which is currently scheduled for Tuesday, May 14th. If payment is not received by this date, the shares may be sold out of your account and you may be responsible for any losses incurred in connection with the sale. Please be advised that ACH is the only acceptable method for payment for this program. Through the ACH facility, you will be able to transfer funds directly from your checking or savings account to Morgan Stanley. If you decide to sell your shares once the stock begins trading on the secondary market, you must do so on the Morgan Stanley online website or mobile application. A detailed trade tutorial will be available to you on the Morgan Stanley Directed Share Program website after you have confirmed your allocation. Now, to recap the Directed Share Program process and provide additional resources that are available to you. Things to remember. If you are interested in participating in the Directed Share Program, you must complete the application process by May 7th. You will have less than 12 hours from the IPO pricing to confirm your purchase. If you fail to confirm your order by 7 a.m. Eastern Time on May 10th, shares will not be allocated to you. Once your purchase is confirmed, you are obligated to pay for your shares of Uber stock. Your payment for shares of Uber stock must be received by 4 p.m. Eastern Time on the third business day after the IPO has priced. Payments must be made by ACH. You should be aware that any purchase of Uber common stock is an investment subject to inherent risks of the stock market as well as other risks. Therefore, we urge you to review the preliminary prospectus, a copy of which is available for your review on the Morgan Stanley Directed Share Program website, and base your investment decisions on the information contained therein. Stock investments are subject to taxes when the stock is sold. Please consult a professional financial planner, accountant, and/or tax advisor to discuss your personal situation to decide what decision may be best for you. The program will close prior to the offering pricing date for logistical reasons, including the possibility of excess program demand. Final allocation will be determined by the final price of the offering and total demand. Once the program is closed, you will not be able to submit your indication of interest. If you confirm your order to buy shares in the program and are later interested in selling your shares, you will need to log on to the Morgan Stanley Online to execute a trade. Morgan Stanley Online can be accessed at morganstanley.com/online. For your reference, a tutorial on how to sell your shares on Morgan Stanley Online or through the Morgan Stanley app is available on the Uber DSP landing page at uber.com/DSP. If you need assistance setting up your ACH instructions or have other technical questions, please contact Morgan Stanley's Service Center at 877-580-UBER or 8237. Please direct all eligibility questions to Uber through the driver app. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.